Welcome to Caribbean Insight. We have an explosion of Caribbean videos lined up for you. Tonight, you'll be experiencing international artists displaying the cultural rhythms of soca, calypso, reggae, dancehall, and salsa. So relax, and let's take a ride down the Caribbean.
Caribbean Inside, Caribbean Inside, Caribbean Inside, please check Caribbean Inside.
I am Ras Shorty. I am a scientist, a musical scientist. I invented soca so that Caribbean people could have something to identify with wherever they go, any part of the world.
Welcome to another edition of Caribbean Insight. As you know, this is the show that keeps you in touch with the culture of the Caribbean. We're getting ready for another cultural experience. We're getting ready to meet and greet the man who I call the mystery man of Calypso. He was born in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and his music was influenced by the sounds of the drum and the fiddler. He started writing Calypso at the tender age of 8 and made it over to Trinidad as a young teenager, where he continued writing and singing his songs in the hills of Laventille. While in Trinidad, he was introduced to Art Decoto by Lord Blakey. At this time, Art Decoto gave him the opportunity to play his music as he wanted to. And by 1974, the bassman carved Winston Bailey the Shadow his first road march title. His music continued to shape soca and cement its popularity and its great appeal to the general public. He became a man who was loved for his music and continues up to this day to be the same. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that Caribbean Insight is proud to introduce Mr. Winston Bailey, aka The Shadow. Shadow, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much, Lady V.
Well, you know, it has been long overdue. I've been trying, you know that, I've been trying to get at you, but you're such a busy man. But I'm glad that you took time out of your busy schedule to sit and chat with us.
Yeah, well, I have the time now, so let's do it.
At the tender age of 8 and 9 years old in Tobago, you started, as you said, making an attempt to write music.
Yes, as I was saying, trying to write calypsos. Because the first calypso I heard, it was on a gramophone. I went at my great aunt's place and they were playing a calypso on a gramophone. And from the time I heard this thing, I asked her to play it over for me and then play it again. And from then, I wanted to sing like that. I wanted to be like that guy who was singing there, you know? So I went and started trying to write calypso. I said try, because at the time I couldn't rhyme with time, you know? But I loved it. But even from that time, I had a lot of music in me. I would beat the bench, I would beat anything around me with rhythm, and people just, you know, tapping their feet or clapping hands and enjoying what I do. So the music was always there, but I was trying to create the song to go with the music. And from then on, still keep on trying. Even up to now, in the night I take my guitar and still try to write a song.
It was just explained to us about rhythm, beating the desk, keeping the sounds of the drum around. I know in your life, somewhere in your family life, your music was...
Yeah, like my grandfather was a choir master. He used to practice choir. He used to deal with a lot of church music. And I used to hear them singing all the time. Even now, I have an uncle who still practices choir and thing. He plays the fiddle. He used to play the fiddle with the tambourine music, because I was born in Trinidad. And taken to Tobago about 3 months old, something like that, they told me, where I stayed with my grandparents, that is in Lekoto. And the music in Lekoto, they had a lot of people beating tambourine music. Like they used to use the goat skin and thing and make a drum, which they heat over the fire before they beat this thing. And that used to go along with the violin. You know, it's not like the smooth violin. It's more the fiddler. And my uncle used to play from young, you know. He joined them when he was young. And I used to just listen to that music. So that's the first live music I was exposed to.
Bassman in 1974. Give you your first road march title. And in that song, I remember listening to words like, when I lie down in my bed, I hear this bassman in my head, tum 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 tum. As we was talking off camera, music seems to be, your life is music.
Yeah, I live that.
You live music.
Yeah, I'm like bassman. When I started with Lord Blakey in Victory's Calypso 10, that was in 1971. That year I sang a song threatening Kitchen and Sparrow. I want to beat them, you know. I want to beat them in the road match. So the guys around used to ask me, you're crazy? These guys so good, they want to beat them. I said, I did my homework, I had a lot of study, and I serious. So I remember I was singing in the Victory's tent, I was singing something named Modern Housewives. But I wanted to sing the thread. But so much respect for Kitchen and Sparrow. The guys didn't want me to sing the thread. So one night I had to play sick, you know, and I was lucky I started to perspire all over. So they thought I really had fever. But I had music fever really, because I wanted to sing my song.
Right.
And that night was a sweet night. God is loving, because the people started to harass everybody that come on the stage. They started to boo them and everything. I mean, that bad for them, but a good thing was going to happen for me.
Right.
Because when the pressure came on, composer was the MC. He said, I know you're sick, but please go and sing a song for me. I said, I would sing a song if you allow me to sing the track. The same song you don't want me to sing. Right. Well, not you, but the people around, for whatever reason. He said, all right, sing the track. And that was encore after encore after encore, and I was so well, you know. When I come up, they say, looking good. I said, but I wasn't sick, you know. So I had a chance to sing that song, and then come later and sing the song I was singing first. Because at that time, when you now come into a tent, they allow you to sing like one song. It was tough to get in two songs. So from that night, I was singing two songs. And then the song was about Kitchen and Sparrow going to beat you, but it didn't work, you know. So the next year I come back with another threat. I said, they think I go stop, but tell them they lie. I come out to fight and it's battle until I die. Sparrow and Kitchen, I hear they walking over here. If they sing Dorie, you can't stop them on Carnival Day. I don't want to get vexed and lose my temper, Mr. Kitchener and Mr. Sparrow. Anytime I get vexed, I go use my razor. I warning all you, carry me by the Ubia man too. I think I tell a little lie there, you know. That was the third year.
Right.
Yeah, I had trouble in 72, the second year. That is in 1972. 72 is when I said, last year I tell them that I could beat them. They're getting on as though it's a problem. Let me make this clear. Before I came here, my name was Babel. I had the best orchestra in hell. Just listen to sweet bass. Is music in the place? And that would be bacchanal for the carnival. Road march contenders got to come sweet like sugar. And if they fail to do so, trouble would meet them in 72. Well, it didn't work in 72. That's why I say they work in some over here. And then the 1974 was coming up now. That is,
right.
Like the fourth year. And I had this song, Bassman. Well, that came about one time while on Lavante. You know, my mother didn't see me a long time. And she came in Trinidad. So she went up Lavante to look for her sister, which is my aunt. I used to go look for her once in a blue moon. And that was the blue moon. I went and looked for her. But she knew, my mother always loves pea soup. and she went pigeon peas.
Right.
So she went at my aunt, and she cooked that day, and told my aunt she gonna leave some peas soup for me because I would come for it. And my aunt saying he don't come around here, so. And I didn't know all of that, you know, until when they saw me on top of the hill coming down. My aunt called my mother, her name was Idris, and said, "Drissy, like you're correct, like you know the man." Look him coming down. Well, I went down and they laughed, and I had my pea soup. And then after, you see, I was so long around trying to sing and couldn't get into the tent. Then I get in the tent, and much wasn't happening for me. You know, much wasn't happening. I was just good in the season, and when the season during the year, nothing to do. So it was like wasting a whole lot of time. I wasn't wasting my time, although it was appearing to be so because I had no place to perform during the year. So my mother was telling me, "Come go back to Tobago, man." So I asked her, "What you want me to go back there to do? Plant peas?" But as I'm walking up the hill, when I left, I said, "Well, goodbye, I'll see you again." Walking up the hill and something came to me. It was like I could leave Calypso. I could get out of Calypso. But Calypso wouldn't get out of me. That time I did so much work. Right. Because when I left Tobago, I left Tobago about a teenager, you know, maybe 15, 16, somewhere 16 around there. And came and went Lavanti. I just keep on doing that all my life. And then at this stage here, to just walk away from it, I couldn't walk away from it. So I said maybe I would get out of the Calypso, but the Calypso would not get out of me. So that is the song.
Okay.
I'm planning to go to plant the peas, but I know, you know, it's like the music couldn't get out of me. Okay. Every night I lie down in my bed, keep hearing this bassman in my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let's go straight to the videotape and revisit the year 1974 while you enjoy the music of Shadow with the Bassman.
I was planning to forget Calypso, to go and plant peas in Tobago, but I am afraid I can't make the grade. Every night I lie down in my bed, I hearing a bassman in my head. I'm bam-bidim bam, bow, bam bam-bidim bam, bow, bam bam-bidim bam, bow, 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 bow. I don't know how this thing gets inside me. Mama, every morning he driving me crazy, like he taking me out for a paniad. Morning and evening, Mr. Farrell going mad. Dim dum, if I don't want to sing, when he start to do his thing, I don't want to, but I have to sing. And if I don't want to dance, he does have me in a trance. I don't want to, but I have to prance to him. Well, one night I said to the bassman, "Give me your identification." He said, "It's me, Farrell, your bassman from hell." When they tell me you're singing Calypso, I come up to put some notes for you. It's bidim bow, bow, bidim bow, bow, bidim bow, 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 bow. I don't know how this thing gets inside me, but man, every morning he's driving me crazy, 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 like he taking me out for a paniad. Morning and evening, Mr. Farrell go on mad. I dig it down. If I don't want to say.
Now remember to call a friend, call a neighbor, let them know that Caribbean Insight is bringing you the flavor.
This is Sylvester Lockhart, better known in the Calypso business as the Pool. Whenever I'm in New York, I always listen to Caribbean Insight, the #1 station for our culture, Calypso music.
Hi, greetings from TNT. I am Tigress.
This is the original dance master.
This is Marshall Montano.
I'm Brother Valentino.
This is Marcia Miranda.
Caribbean Insight. Yes, I watch them all the time. They're bad.
Caribbean Insight really is dynamite. Caribbean Insight really super. Was spiked. Caribbean Insight. Enjoy day or night. Caribbean Insight really is dynamite.
In In 1974, Shadow, I should say, Port of Spain was being overrun by Shadow Mania. At this time, we had two of the major tents. We had the original Young Brigade, and then we had Kitchener's Review. But after that, you came and you had your own tent. I think it was the Master's Den at that time. Fill us in on some of that
Well, that's a long time from there because 1973, I worked with Kitchener, and 74 I was with Kitchener, and I stayed on 75, and 76 and 77, I went with them. I went back at R.I.P with Sparrow, and after that, we decided to have a tent, and I named it Kingdom of the Wizards. I stayed with Kingdom of the Wizards 1 year. Kingdom of the Wizards was down Riceton Road at the Old Port Services Club, at the same place where I started with Lord Blakey. That was the first tent like I was staying in that tent. Then, after that year, something went on, and I decided to leave them. So the site split up. Stalin went with Monroe, or the man who opened the tent for us, who financed the tent. And some of the other guys came over with me. Guys like Gypsy, Crow, Rio, Ember. They wanted to go with me, and they said anything I was going to do, they're going to try with me. So I said, let me try something. I opened my tent called the Masters Den. And it was good. It was a beautiful tent. People still talk about it up to now. They say, they ask me, why don't you try and reopen my tent? But at this stage here, I don't want any tent. But I mean, when I say it was good, good things come out of there. Because that's where Super Blue come from, you know.
Okay.
He was around and he couldn't get in a tent, and I heard about the guy, so I told him come over with me, and he went to work mass in the first year. And a lot of people got some break inside of that tent. And it went on for a while until it was no more.
But that tent bring out a lot of kings, because we had Gypsy come out of there, Crow.
Yeah.
So it was a good tent after all.
It was always a great tent, but when they were in the tent, they never used to win any crown. They used to have the greatest Calypsos, but they wouldn't take them in the savannah.
Why? Why do you think that was so, boy?
Because they were singing with me, and they branded me a rebel because I wouldn't do what they wanted me to do. I wouldn't go with them, I wouldn't beg them to do this, and I wouldn't do that, because that is not what I came to do. I came to sing Calypsos. And you know, after 1974, when I went in the savannah, and everybody said I won, and they didn't give me any crown. I told them I wasn't going to be around, so when they noticed I don't want to go around them, anybody around me, they want to spite them, because they feel I should just go back and they should do what they want to do and say who last and who first. But you see, that was in their head. My thing was about music. And Calypsos, you understand? So they had something different. That's why, like in 1977, I say, well, I want to catch all them churches in hell, because they really was punishing everybody around me. Because in same Coco had songs called I Want the Crown before, you know, why they were singing with me. But the boys was tough too, you know. The mind between them, they wouldn't bend at all. Gypsy, Coco, and all them guys. Now they love me a lot, you know, and they just won't bend. They do them that, and they know if they leave and go over there, they would have a chance, but they ain't going. They stay until that thing ends, you know. And then after it ends, they start to give them some crowns, you know. So that's how that thing is.
Okay.
But I mean, my thing was more than that. My thing is still more than that. In that for the love of it, for the music, not about the winning and the losing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the videotape while we look, listen, and learn from the music of the Mighty Shadow survival business.
Tough road. It's like a village on a mountain peak, where the strong control the weak, in a river of tears, on a mountain of tears. loves the rat, but the rat don't need no love like that, oh no. He loves the rat for his face. He loves the way rat face stands still. Survival business, oh yeah, 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 it's a crucial business. Survival business, it's a brutal business, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Survival road, it's a tough, tough road. A little booty on a mango tree, enjoying the scenery. Suddenly, a chicken hawk eats him like a piece of pork. Survival business, it's a crucial business, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Survival business, it's a brutal business. The fox loves the duck, so he watched them from behind the rock. Yeah, oh, what a love. It's a decent meal he's thinking of. Survival business, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a crucial business, ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Survival business, it's a brutal business, ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't touch that dial. I'll be right back with much more of Shadow Mania.
This is Shalane Hendrickson Thomas.
It's me again, the Ivan. Hi, I'm John T.
Hi, my name is Kevin King.
This is Ramraji Prabhu. Keep tuning in. It's the best Caribbean soca program right on, and it's happening. Love you. Stay away from drugs. Love up the soca.
Caribbean inside. Caribbean inside. Caribbean inside. Please check Caribbean inside.
We're back here on Caribbean Insight, and we'll continue to chat with the mighty Shadow known as Winston Bailey. Shadow, you was just before we went on that break, we was just talking about some of the challenges that came up within the Calypso era and how you handled it. Take the Judges song, the song that you made when you say you want to catch them judges in hell and have them jumping. You understand? It seemed to me like somehow your new style of music wasn't being appreciated. It wasn't reaching out to the judges, even though the people loved it.
Yeah, the people loved it. They loved me. They always, from 1971, I had total support, you know, and coming through there. I was always welcome on stage. When people hear my name from announced like I'm the next singer, the mood used to just change over. Yeah, because I think they were getting trouble. They weren't dealing with Calypso as the culture and take the best Calypsonians to Skinner Park, where they would select them in the semi-final, from the semi-final to go in the Savannah. They were dealing with a bunch of people and opposing some other people because of something else. They wasn't dealing with the art form.
Right.
They was kind of selfish, you know. So I had to let them know I was seeing what they were doing. Right. So instead of going and say, now I will do what you want, so you give me a pick. I say, no, I want to catch you in hell. I want to punish you for what you're doing, you know. Right. So that just made them get more against me, I think. But I was having fun, you know.
I realized you was having fun, and you didn't give up. You kept on coming.
No, because my thing wasn't their thing. Right. My thing wasn't mixed up in their thing. My thing was always about Calypso and about music. Remember I talked about the day with the gramophone? It had nothing to do with church. Right. And that's where I started from. I started from trying to do something that I loved. to do the music and create the great stories, and that's what I continue doing. So even though the judges wouldn't pick me and they wouldn't do that, that wasn't worrying me, because after a time, they used to ask me to go Skinner Park, and I used to tell them, no, I ain't going Skinner Park. Because I do my Calypso, and my Calypso is going good. Look, the people love my Calypsos.
Right, right.
So, and even the time when they were not picking them guys in the tent, is mostly because when they asked me to go, I never used to go. You understand? Because after all that sweet music and everybody go crazy about it, they play too much games, you know, and I couldn't take the games.
The isms and
me
the
just stay away and leave these people and stick with the music. No games in the music. It's either good music or bad music. You
and
understand?
The people love it.
Okay, and if you do bad music, the people wouldn't like it. So you would know you have to go back and do better.
Right.
But if you just try to write songs for the few people who judge, then you get weak. You write a certain type of song.
Right.
To suit these people.
Right.
And I'm wasting my time.
Because that is not of you.
Yeah, I see more. A big world we're living in, and I see so many things I could write about. So I decided to stay with my thing. And may I remind you,
sure,
I was never called the mighty shadow. I was always the shadow.
The shadow.
Yeah.
Just the shadow.
Yeah.
Just the shadow.
Recently, everybody say mighty shadow, and when I said no, I'm not mighty shadow, I'm just shadow, they say, well, you have to take this because you are mighty, you know. So, do my how I try to get away from that thing to try to stick it on me, you know.
People have always loved you. They have always recognized how great your music was, regardless of the judges. The judges always played the little isms and schisms game. I'm glad this year Super Blue and Iowa had a little controversy brought up about it. But it's something that you was talking about over the years, you know. Judging was not based on Calypso for what it is.
No, after a time, a certain type of songs used to win. It must be most, you know, a lot of political songs used to win a type of Calypso. Because there are a lot of different types of Calypsos.
Right.
Right? But I think you could judge from that type and from the other type, the humorous, and other serious things going on. Even musical songs is over chance, because that is Calypso.
Right. Right.
But they used to use certain things. And people must come under that to be judged. But I'm so glad that I never used to fall for their thing. I used to stick with my thing. So people used to say, but you sing so many songs and they never crown you. But I know many of the times I never even used to go. So I used to wonder why the people don't think about the music I do, how sweet it is. I don't have to win to be me.
Right.
I won already. I won the hearts of so many people. Okay?
Yes.
Why do I have to go for somebody to say I am who I am? And when you already know who I am.
Last year when you won the crown, it was simply a question of asking the same judges.
What's wrong with
me after all these years of hard work? What made you decide to come up with a song like that?
Well, you know, you got to keep this thing in it, because that is Calypso. Because people keep on saying, this man win 4 crowns, that one won 5 crowns, that one win, you know, and some never had any crowns. It's not just about me alone, you know.
Right.
I see great Calypso and sing great songs and never win anything.
Sure.
There are Valentino, Life is a Stage, and so many great songs just passed down.
Yes.
I never won, like Progress. So, you know, what's wrong? So I came up with my song, What's Wrong With Me? And Scratch My Back. I was not thinking about any savannah. I was thinking about entertaining the people in the tent. But from the first night the tent opened, everybody come in the tent, you know, would meet me outside or come in the back. You must go this year. I said, I don't want to go. The first man told me that. I said, I don't want to go. He said, I know you would tell me that, but you must go, man. We want you to go. And that went through the whole season. So I was going along with the people, because the people wanted that. They wanted to see that day when they jump and rejoice and say, Shadow is the monarch. They wanted that. So I don't forget me now. and go along with the people who support me all the time.
Sure.
Even when they say I want to stand up, and I stood up there and look around. What is this in my mind, you know? The only time I start to feel like something really happened different, you know, is when I see everybody jumping up and rejoicing, I laugh, you know. See, yeah, well, something just happened, man, because I saw the joy and the happiness in the people.
Yes.
But as for me alone, if the people in there and they say, the next thing I'd be doing is to go home and sleep, just as usual, you know, with no worries and no over nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the videotape and listen to Shadow with a big question for the year 2000. What's wrong with me?
When I write my Calypso and I sing for the people, they tell me I'm sweeter than a whole bag of sugar. When I sing for the judges, it's plenty low dodges. I want an opinion. I am asking a question. What's wrong with me? We don't know. 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 Am I ugly or what? Bad luck or what? I cause death or what? Do I smell like cigarette or what? What's wrong with me? We don't know. What's wrong with me? We don't know. What's wrong with me? We don't know. What's wrong with me? I ran away from home when I was little. Night and day I roam. I've seen plenty trouble. Many, many days I had nothing to buy. No place to rest my head when I'm tired in the night. What's wrong with me? We don't know. 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 Am I ugly or what? Bad lucky or what? I have rabies or what? Do I eat babies or what? Tell me, what's wrong with me? We don't know. What's wrong with me? We don't know. What's wrong with me? We don't know. What's wrong with me? I went up Lavante, night and day I study. Came down to the city like a walking symphony. They took all my music, disguised it as soca, deprived me of credit, which I owned while I suffer. What's wrong with me? We don't know. 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 Am I ugly or what? Bad lucky or what? Is this normal or what? Or abnormal or what? Tell me.
Shadow Mania continues here on Caribbean Insight, and I know the tempo is rising, the heat is building. So while you move through the refrigerator to get something to drink, pick up the phone, call a friend, call a neighbor, let them know that on Caribbean Insight we have the flavor. And I'll be right back with much more.
Hi, I'm Nicole Graves, and I am from the band Surface, and anytime I'm in New York City, I tune into Caribbean Insight.
I'm the Lord Kitchen.
This is Rootsman.
This is Sanel Dempster.
My name is Winston Bailey, better known as Shadow.
This is Calypso and Squeezy.
I watch no other but Caribbean Insight.
Caribbean Insight really is dynamite. Caribbean Insight really super was spite. Caribbean Insight enjoy day or night. Caribbean Insight really is dynamite.
This year, 2001, Super Blue lost his title to you in the Soca Monarch competition. And you did it with great lyrics and great melody. And this has been a part of your repertoire over the years. Now you're competing with the young ones with this. What's the secret to this?
Well, this year was a kind of year. After not being in the party for a very long time, well, there's a lot of politics, but let me leave that part.
Is that right?
I decided to go back in the party because everybody's asking me to come back and perform. So I went there and I performed with the youths. I was there. I had a lot of support, you know, because the young ones are showing me a lot of love. And the bands, everybody was with me. It was just nice. And they asked me to go Soca Monarch. I said, I don't know if I would go. I ain't too sure. But the night of the semifinals, I was heading for San Fernando. After doing a few shows all around Port of Spain area, I was heading for San Fernando to the last one. And I said, if I had the time, I would drop in the semifinals. So when, on my way down, I checked the time. I said, maybe I would catch R.I.P band still on stage if I just drop in semifinals. But I told them before, if I come, I wouldn't have time. So as soon as I come, just put me on the stage.
Right, right.
So as they see me coming on, they just change the program and say, well, I would go on now. I just take a black gong or something and just put it on and just rush on the stage and just have the place, just heat up the place, make people dance nice and thing. And then I come off and I went and do my show down the road. I mean, I'm just trying to explain to you, that wasn't really what I left town to do, you know, or home to do. Because the competition again, the fighting, you know, it never too much of me. But it was nice. I had the place out and went and I did my show. So when I come back, I asked them boys in the car, say, what are you getting myself into? By the young people thing. And they said, but you're going good, man, you're going good. So I still wind up home asking myself, what are you going so far into that for? And then I went so far, I had to go along with it. So when the finals come, I pushed my hat in that hot pot and hold it up and I had to take it out. I really had to take it out. Because everybody expects me to be there now. So I can't say I ain't going. So I went, it was a beautiful year. It was nice to be in the party again after all this time. But I mean, the last time I performed in party, before this time come back, was the same thing with me and the people, you know. It was always just nice. As soon as they say shadow, the mood changed and everybody ready. They're ready for a shadow thing, you know. A sweet thing.
I like how you say that they're ready for a shadow thing, because shadow thing is a sweet thing. We're used to that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the videotape and listen to a serious one.
I need gal and the love bell ring, a ting-a-ling-ting, a ting-a-ling-ting. This and that and she belly get fat. The young man say me and mine in that. I see you with Harry, I see you with John. Big bacchanal when the baby born. Before little baby never was there. In the hotel the previous year, they went in together, holding hands. Come out together, holding hands. Fighting now like dog and cat. Why should I be the pay for that? Make love and be merry, but don't make that unwanted baby. No child ever asks to come here, so I find this very unfair. You made your love and you had your fun, and then you vex when the baby born. Too many hungry names on the list, so learn to control your foolishness. Oh yeah. They used to to hug up tight, tight, tight. Oh, what a couple, oh, what a sight. Walk down the road like queen and king. Pretty little girl with a feminine grin. Soon as her belly begin to rise, he watching the girl with pokey eyes. He begin to think about baby clothes. He begin to think about baby shoes. He begin to think about diaper. That belly looking irregular. He telling himself, I hope it's that. I too young, not me and that. Make love and be merry, but don't make that unwanted baby. No child ever asked to come here, so I find it's very unfair. You made your love and you had your fun, and then you vex when the baby born. Too many hungry names on the list, so learn to control your foolishness. Poor little baby, innocent, mommy don't know where daddy went, crying to death on grandmama lap, hoping to get some flower pop. Poor little mommy, drop out of school, daddy is somewhere playing the fool. Grandmama pension cannot last, she run out of milk, she run out of gas. Mommy gone down on the bread line. There she met another swine. Promised her this, he promised her that. He run like hell when her belly get fat. Make love and be merry, but don't make that unwanted baby. No child ever asked to come here, so I find it very unfair. You make your love and you had your fun, and then you vex when the baby born. Too many hungry names on the list, so learn to control your foolishness. Unwanted children, unwanted children. They never ask you to come, they never ask you to bring them. No, they never ask you to come, they never ask you to bring them. Unwanted children, yeah, yeah, yeah. Make love and be merry, but don't make that unwanted baby. No child ever asked to come here, so I find it very unfair. You make your love and you had your fun, and then you vex when the baby born. Too many hungry names on the list, so learn to control your foolishness.
Well, listen. Shadow ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. So you move to the phone or move to the refrigerator, get something to drink, make some space to have a good time, and we'll be right back with much more on Shadow Mania.
After a hard week, nothing keeps me away from Caribbean Insight. And I hope you do the same.
This is Denise Sox, you are Belfont.
Hi, I'm Nicole Graves.
Hi, this is Marcia Miranda.
I am Mavis John.
I'm Calypso Twiggy. This is Sanel Dempster. I watch Caribbean Insight. You hear?
Caribbean Inside, Caribbean Inside, Caribbean Inside, please check Caribbean Inside.
You mentioned that music is in your head, music is your life, and you don't think that throughout this lifetime you would be able to write all the music that's floating around in your head. Explain that to us.
I won't be able to get out all the music because there's no end to the music in me, you know. It's like tapping into music itself. I could just create music and music and music and music all over and just keep on going. You see, most of my life I always stick to that, and maybe by doing that I get deeper into it. I strum guitar and try to write songs, as I say, I still try to write a sweeter one every day.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. Right. I just live that. Like even today, before I came here, I did a song I recorded already for 2002. But a beautiful song is in my head. And even today, before I came here, I didn't work with my guitar. but I was pounding the table, you know, like, you know, and I was changing some lyrics. I had to do that. You know, like everybody else have their thing to do.
Right.
Now, when I get back home where I'm staying now, I know I would be doing something in music before I go to bed. So it's like, it's a part of me. I live that.
You live that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, you have a book that's in the making where you're telling the story.
Yeah.
Fill in the audience on what they can expect from that book and how soon it's going to be out.
Yeah, well, as you see, and many people see, they call me a mystery man. They said I'm a person with a lot of secrets. I mean, maybe, but then when you read the book, you will find out if there are secrets or whatsoever. It's about a lot of things. The way I grew up from birth, when I was born, when I went to Tobago too, when I reached back to Laventille and things, a whole lot of things happen, you know. And that would help to explain me getting so deep into music and holding on so tight to it.
Okay.
In the book, I can't say too much now because the book ain't there. And I'd rather people read the book.
Right.
Because there are many things. You would interview me, you'd ask me a lot of questions. I would answer you. But there are many things that I would answer and I would just say something about it.
Right.
You know, but not getting the whole depth of it. Because you ask me questions and for me to really explain them things, it takes hours, you know.
Right, right.
Because everything takes time to get to where it is.
Sure.
So certain questions is like, how you get to do this? You know? I might say because I like it, I try to do it. But it's much more than that because there are parts in there where
it's a process.
That will show you that not just because you like it, you get to do it. Because there's so much problems you could have run from it. And you could like something else.
Right.
So in the book, explain all of the story, you know. The story people always want to ask me 2 questions and find out about my life. You'll find it there.
In the book?
Yeah. Now somebody else could write the book or so, but again, I tell you, if they interview me, I would hold back.
Sure.
It's just me talking to you, and I want to tell you certain things.
Right, right, right.
But if I sit down and try to write it, I would write it.
Good, good. And explain fully.
Yes, so you'll get more from that.
From the book?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard about the book. Look forward for it. As soon as the book launches, I'm going to let you guys know when and where you can get it. And on that note, let's revisit the year 1999 and tune in to Shadow Dingole.
Energy, oh yeah. Fantasy. You don't need a bulldozer to become a composer. Every little bug or a dog may help to construct a melody. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Music fills the world with happiness, plenty sweetness and togetherness. Music got no friend, it got no enemy. Everybody, go dingole, 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 dingole. If you close your up or you smooth up, you could still jump back when music plays.
Call a friend, call a neighbor. Let them know that Caribbean Insight is bringing you the flavor.
I'm TC from Barbados, and when I'm in North America, I watch Caribbean Insight. Stay tuned.
I'm the Lord Kitchen.
This is Denise Saucy wa Belfon.
This is KMC.
My name is Barry Sam.
This is Marshall Montano.
And I hope you will do as I do. Keep listening to them.
Caribbean Insight. Caribbean Insight. Caribbean Insight. Please check Caribbean Insight.
Whoa!
Well, this is Bunchy, y'all.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and enlighten the Caribbean public about some of the mysteries. You just touched on some of the mysteries behind you. I want to thank you for coming here and explaining to us, you know, the challenges that you had to go through and how you overcome. And as you say, you're still trying to write music.
Still trying, always
still trying to write music. I want to thank you for your work and pray that as you continue, that you would keep getting better and better as the years go by.
Yeah.
That anytime you're in New York, you feel free to come and visit us here on Caribbean Insight.
All right, Lady V. Thank you for having me on your program. One love.
In my hand, I'm holding Shadow's new CD for the year 2001. It's entitled Just For You, and it's available at all your leading distributors of Caribbean music. So go out there and support it. Remember, I always say to you that culture is a way of life. And if you go out there and they don't have it, ask for it, demand it. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say to you, all my fans and critics out there, this is Lady V saying I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. God bless you all.
I said I'd like to see a world of unity, equality throughout humanity. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A world of peacefulness, happiness, and togetherness. I would like to see the day when love would come to stay. One love, sing it with me. One love, it would be happiness to see such a unity. One love, sing the chorus. One love, hey, hey. Love to the world is all that I can say. Deep down in my soul, I would like to see that day, the day of peacefulness, happiness, and together.